record it, drop, you can't ignore it. I'm transforming now these cars and planes, I'm always boarding. Just out touring down in Charlotte like I play for Hornets.
What's going on? What's happening? My sports fans, how you doing? This is Kendrick, the sports guy with TFG Sports Media and Kendrick Sports Hustle. That's SPORTZHUSTLE. Good Thursday evening to you all. Hope you're having a good week thus far. It's about to be the end of the week on Friday, and I just wanted to pop in and real quick, won't be before you very long, kind of talk about some NFL football. NFL 2023, the official kickoff starts tonight. Preseason football. We got the Hall of Fame game coming up tonight between the New York Jets and the Cleveland Browns. We're going to talk a little bit about that game tonight. But before we do that, make sure you come in, like, share the broadcast to your social media platforms. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to TFG Sports Media on YouTube and follow it on Facebook. And also subscribe to Kendrick Sports Hustle. That's SPORTZHUSTLE on YouTube, and follow Kendrick Sports Hustle on Facebook as well. And I thought I'd jump on here because I was like, you know what? We got NFL football back. You know, we all been talking about the training camp and whatnot and what's going on. Well, training camps is probably about to start to wind down. Matter of fact, next weekend, I believe the 9th is when we start getting more preseason games. But tonight is the kickoff. It's the Hall of Fame game in Canton, Ohio again. That's the annual. Normally they used to play this game on Saturdays. Now, I think a couple of years back, they moved it to Thursdays. And we also got the Hall of Fame ceremonies that's going to be going on this weekend. And we're going to talk a little bit about that as well. So make sure you come in, hit like, hit share, subscribe, say something to me if you check in with me so we can chat a little bit. Again, I'm not gonna be here long because again that game kicks off at 7. So we're gonna jump right into this thing again. We got the Hall of Fame game, Jets versus the Browns. That is 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, right on NBC. It's gonna be on NBC tonight. And let's talk about the injury report. You know, it shouldn't be long because obviously we're still talking about training camp, but you still gonna have some players that's gonna be on that list, and you're probably gonna have some players that's not gonna play tonight. Let's talk about the New York Jets as far as who's on IR and won't play tonight. Running back Breece Hall will not play. Wide receiver Garrett Wilson will not play, and offensive tackle Dwayne Brown will not play for the Jets on tonight. Now for the Browns, defensive tackle Tristan Hill will not play. Wide receiver Jalen Darden, wide receiver Mike Harley Jr., and tight end Jordan Akins. So those are the players that probably won't play. They're on the injury report. Some of them was questionable, some of them was out, but it's just the first preseason game. They're not going to play. You're not going to risk it, especially Jets. Your starting wide receiver Garrett Wilson, definitely want to risk him having any injuries. Breece Hall, running back, you don't want to have him in a position where he could get hurt, as well as offensive tackle Dwayne Brown. So again, we got the Hall of Fame game, Jets versus Brown. We got the debut of Aaron Rodgers in the Jets uniform. Will he play tonight? I doubt it very seriously. We'll probably see more. Probably going to see Zach Wilson. I would be shocked if we saw Aaron Rodgers maybe play a series, because again, it's only 3 preseason games now, so you don't have as much time to get people prepared. So Aaron Rodgers may play a series. I can see that, as well as Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson. Most likely they will play a series. If they don't play a series, I don't see them playing at all tonight. Again, it's all eyes on the New York Jets. Again, you got Aaron Rodgers coming over after spending 16 years in Green Bay. Big trade happened. He's now a Jet wearing a different number. He will be wearing number 8, not number 12. And brought a couple of his Packer friends with him. Randall Cobb is with the Jets. Alan Lazard is with the Jets. And another Packer, I can't remember who also signed with the Jets, but he brought a couple of his buddies with him. So that should be interesting. Like I said, all eyes is going to be on the Jets. Hard Knocks, if you don't know, HBO's Hard Knocks series, where they follow one of the NFL teams during training camp. It is the Jets, so they're getting all their footage now. I believe that that series will probably kick off in about a week or probably 2 weeks. You'll probably see the first episode of Hard Knocks, but it is the New York Jets. So let's talk about the Browns. You got Deshaun Watson. You know, he hadn't been talked about for football as much as he's been talked about those sexual cases that he was dealing with. But now that's pretty much behind him. We're gonna see what he can do. Can he get back to form he had a couple of years ago when he was with the Houston Texans? We're going to see. And he was the first big money quarterback to sign that contract, fully guaranteed, $230 million. Well, since then, we've had a bunch of quarterbacks that have signed some big money contracts. But Deshaun Watson was the one that got the ball rolling. So what will he do in this second stint here with the Browns? We'll see. Obviously, they got running back Nick Chubb, who's I think is, when you talk about premier running backs in the league, he is that guy. Nick Chubb at the running back position. Will Amari Cooper, with his second season with the Browns at the wide receiver position, will he be all right? With Kevin Stefanski, will he feel a little bit more comfortable with his guys in place now, as far as play calling and all that? So that's what we're looking at for the Browns. Again, this is a Hall of Fame game. I would say don't look for much. I mean, but it is football. You know, the thing is, we've had the XFL and the USFL to kind of pacify us until the NFL came back. So again, we got the Jets versus the Browns, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on NBC. Like I said a minute ago, all eyes is going to be on the New York Jets, not even only tonight, but for the whole season, just to see, because they in that AFC East division with the Dolphins, with the Bills, and with the Patriots. They got that's not going to be a cakewalk. You remember Aaron Rodgers was used to playing in that NFC North, where normally it was either the Packers or the Vikings in that division. That was pretty much it his whole time there. The Bears would sneak in there every now and then, but outside of that, that was the Packers and the Vikings division. Now he's in the division that's really, really going to be very competitive, especially Buffalo and Miami. What Pats had a down season last season, but they may be a little better. So he's going to definitely be in a tougher division, and the conference is probably a little tougher too when you think about it, because when you think about the big time quarterbacks, all of them really are in the AFC. So this isn't going to be a cakewalk for the 38-year-old Aaron Rodgers. Now let's look at the Browns. They in that AFC North division with Cincinnati and Pittsburgh. They coming off of pretty much season that was, you know, they were on the uprise there for a second when they had Baker Mayfield. Then they took a slow turn to the bottom. Now they're trying to come back up, see if Deshaun Watson can get them over the hump, that AFC North. Well, you know, you still got Cincinnati, you got Baltimore and Pittsburgh. You know, I think Cincinnati's going to be there, even though Joe Burrow is going to miss most of training camp with that calf injury. You got Baltimore with a new offensive coordinator they got their quarterback Lamar Jackson, who got paid. And will the Steelers make a bounce back from a season that's normally not like them? So that AFC North is going to be another competitive division for the Browns. So we'll see what happens with them in that division. But tonight, it's all about that first NFL preseason game, the Hall of Fame game. We got the New York Jets versus the Cleveland Browns, and getting closer and closer to the regular season. Now, let's talk about Week 1. The Jets, they open up Week 1 with a division game. They will be hosting the Buffalo Bills Week 1. So that is going to be Aaron Rodgers versus Josh Allen in that first week. So that's going to be a tough one. As far as the Browns, they open up with their division rival. They open up with the Bengals. They host the Bengals. So both these teams, they come out the gate with two tough division games off the top. So tonight, again, Jets versus Browns, 7 p.m. on NBC, Hall of Fame game. Two teams that's looking to see where they're going to end up in this tough AFC conference. So we have that tonight. Now, let's move on to the Hall of Fame inductees. We got that happening coming this weekend, and this class is Rondé Barber, Darrell Reeves, both cornerbacks, Joe Thomas, offensive lineman for the Cleveland Browns, Zach Thomas, linebacker for the Dolphins, DeMarcus Ware, Super Bowl champ with the Broncos and the Cowboys. You got Don Coryell, who really started off this high-octane offense, really started with him. He is the father of the high-octane offense. Don Coryell, the late Don Coryell, Chuck Howley, Cowboys linebacker, the only losing player in the Super Bowl to ever win MVP. Chuck Howley is going in. Joe Klecko, defensive tackle for the Jets, and Ken Riley, Mr. All-Everything safety for the Cincinnati Bengals. So those are your 9 class of 2023 Hall of Fame inductees. They will be having that ceremony starting on Saturday, I believe. I think Friday night they will have like a banquet and all that. Tonight they're going to probably be recognize them at halftime, I'm sure, on the field in Canton, Ohio. So again, the Hall of Fame game is going on tonight, and then we will have Saturday the class of 2023 Hall of Fame inductees, which will start, I think that normally starts roughly around 4 p.m., 5 p.m., I think. I'm not quite sure. So you can check that out on the NFL Network. ESPN, I believe, will be carrying that. I think this class, man, Rondé Barber, he's a Super Bowl champ. I think he had 40-something career interceptions, so I can see him getting in. Again, Don Coryell, Chuck Howley was Mr. Everything for the Cowboys at that linebacker position. Joe Klecko, one of those more underrated defensive tackles. He played with Mark Gastineau when the Jets they was jetting. Darrell Reeves, arguably could be said he's probably a top 5, top 6 cornerback of all time. Reeves Island, he played with the Patriots and the Buccaneers. He's the first cornerback to kind of really make that big money too. If you recall, he was able to get these type of contracts where he could make a lot of money. So we'll see with him. Ken Riley, Cincinnati Bengals, all Mr. Everything safety. So he'll be going in. Obviously, Joe Thomas, top-notch offensive lineman, one of the best to play at his position, all-pro numerous times. Zach Thomas, linebacker, Miami Dolphins. What can you say about Zach Thomas? I think he played for the Cowboys briefly too, but he was an undersized linebacker, but he brought it. Kind of puts you in the mind of Mike Singletary a little bit. And then DeMarcus Ware. I remember, I was covering the Cowboys when I was working in television at KLTV in Tyler, Texas, and when we would cover Cowboys camp, I remember Bill Parcells. He drafted DeMarcus Ware out of Troy State, I believe, and he said that this guy was going to be something special, and DeMarcus Ware did turn into something special. So he is in. We'll be going in the class of 2023. For the Hall of Fame inductions again that will happen on this coming Saturday. So again, I just wanted to get a little bit of your time. I wanted to see if there was going to be any other headlines that come through. Nothing really. I'm just looking at some of the top headlines from there was something that happened on Tuesday in Cowboys training camp. Dak Prescott and Trevon Diggs, they got into, I won't call it got into it. Trevon Diggs had a little something to say at the end of a play that he thought that Dak shouldn't have ran out the pocket. He kept hollering box, and then he called him a couple of expletives. So anyway, they say it was all in training camps got a little chippy. So that was some big news. Well, I ain't gonna say big news. That was some news that happened this week during training camp. And I do want to mention the young man down in Houston, Texas, wide receiver John Mechie III out of Alabama. If you recall, last season he wasn't able to play because he was diagnosed with leukemia. So he missed his whole rookie season. Where a year later, now it looks like he's overcoming that. He had a curable form of leukemia, and so he will be able to play football again. So the Texans' first preseason game is August 10th against the Patriots, and that would be John Mechie III's first time playing any football game since he tore his ACL on December 4th, 2021 in the SEC championship game against Georgia. So what a feel-good story. You know, good luck to John Michie III. We wish him well down there in Houston. Houston got some things they putting together down there with new head coach D'Amico Ryans, new quarterback C.J. Stroud, got Will Anderson, I believe, the junior linebacker they drafted out of Alabama. So look like the Texans they probably going to be a whole lot better than they were last year. I would say that. So again, you guys make sure you check out, if you're looking for some NFL, we got some NFL tonight, our first game of the season, Hall of Fame game. Jets, Browns, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on NBC. So again, I am Kendrick. Make sure you like and follow TFG Sports Media on YouTube. Make sure you actually subscribe to it. Make sure you like and subscribe to it. Like and follow TFG Sports Media on Facebook. Make sure you like and follow Kendrick Sports Hustle on Facebook. That's SPORTZ HUSTLE, and make sure you subscribe to both the YouTube channels as well. Again, that's TFG Sports Media here and Kendrick Sports Hustle. So again, you guys enjoy the rest of your Thursday. If something breaks, don't be surprised if I jump in here and do something live. But again, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Thursday evening. Again, Jets Browns tonight, Hall of Fame game, 7 p.m. NBC. We will catch you on the other side. I am out of here. Deuces.